every single day, I'm forgetting that this is upon me. Without forget without. It's upon me relentlessly. This ego.
From the Big Island of Hawaii, welcome to Aloha Speaks, home of Malama Aloha Pono by Alexander Noman, offering relief for all relationships with a focus on anger assessment and resolve.
Aloha, Alex here with Aloha Speaks once again. And the last thing I want is to have canned presentations. This is about, the topic is forget what? Question mark. Forget what? Forget. It's about forgetting. It's actually about remembering. So remember what? And before getting ahead of ourselves, myself, way back, I think it was the number 3 video, there was the whys, talking about the whys. There's 2 whys. I don't want to get into that too much. That the one why, what was actually 2 prongs, and one, the one I'm dealing with is the Malama Aloha Pono prong, and the other one was that I had talked about the timelesstoday.com, where a man named Prem Rawat addresses that prong. That's not my, in other words, it's not none of my business to, I'm not qualified to address that prong, whereas that can be addressed at timelesstoday.com. I never want to forget, for me, none of this would be unfolding in my life but for that. And that's no secret. I mean, that's not a hidden. And yet there's that, always that invitation to forget. So that being said, right on top of the table, then coming to that side of Malama Aloha Pono, because both are so important. I never, claim that that I'm assuming someone can relate to what I'm talking about. Someone else might have multiple addictions like I do. And even though I am not actively in them, the issue behind them is it doesn't go away. Or that someone may have one of the addictions, alcohol or drugs or food or relationship. That's a big one, relationship addiction. Or gambling or emotion, addiction to emotions. especially anger addiction. Addiction to grief, to sadness. I'm not making any assumptions. What is behind the AA being the mother treatment, for 12-step treatment of addiction, is that I go to, people, there are open meetings, and anybody can go to meetings, go to enough meetings, and it can be heard from people saying, I have this forgetter. It's there. It's part of just like denial is like the foundational issue of addiction. Denial. Well, so is part of it forgetting. But forget what? That's the thing. And I was so fortunate to have the sponsor that gave me the homework right off. Over 12 years ago now. Every single day to read page 60 to page 64. Until he said stop. It was after 6 years that that's over 2,000 times I read those pages from 60 to 64. And to the point where I can recite those pages. It's not about reciting. It's not about memorizing. It's about getting it. Can I get it? What it's saying? Because it starts right off the bat on page 60 after the ABCs. It's called the ABC. They're listed. It gets into talking about the actor who wants to run the whole show. This is not rocket science. Each person is like an actor who wants to run the whole show, is forever trying to arrange the lights, the ballet, the scenery, and the rest of the players in his own way. If his arrangements would only stay put, if only people would do as he wished, the show would be great. Everybody, including himself, would be pleased. Life would be wonderful. That is what it is all about. It's that actor. And right after that, it goes on. It's a beautiful rendition. And then the very next paragraph begins. What usually happens? Question mark. The show doesn't come off very well. And then there's this amazing paragraph that just tells my whole tale. That is so ridiculous. It nails it. And at the very end, it says, the last sentence, is he not, even in his best moments, a producer of confusion rather than harmony? That's how the whole thing gets started and unveils what's really going on. It's not talking about the alcohol. They're talking about two alcoholics, but this is the issue. And then it goes, and then it goes to page 64, where the top of page 64, it says, alcohol is our liquor. It says, our liquor. is but a symptom. Now, it could say anything. This is for alcoholics, but it could be my food, or my relationship is but a symptom. My gambling is but a symptom. Because what it says right after that, so we had to get down to causes and conditions. So, what the heck? What's the cause and the conditions? It already talked about the actor who wants to run the whole show. But where it uncovers it is on page 67, where it says, where is it that I'm being selfish, dishonest, self-seeking, and fear, frightened? It's the fear. But it's asking me to put it down on a piece of paper. I don't want to do that. So what am I forgetting here? I'm forgetting every single day. I'm forgetting that this is upon me without forget without. It's upon me relentlessly. This ego. The medicine for this condition is deflation of this inflated ego. I've said before, I need the ego to get out of bed in the morning. It's not the existence of the ego, it's the inflation of the ego. Thinking, and there's more to it than that. I don't even get to find out about it if I don't remember by visiting. Visiting. That's what the assessment is about. By checking in. I had the video on drop in. It's about staying in touch with myself. But I have to do it every day. It's not like, oh, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break. It's not going to take a break. The inflation of the ego, it's pumping. As soon as I deflate the ego, it's pumping up again. So what am I forgetting? What am I remembering? And when I stay in touch with that, I can be in a position or the condition to proceed, because there is somewhere to proceed to. But that's not rocket science either. It's not like I'm going somewhere. Oh, yes, I am. I'm going to my last breath. That's the only place I'm going to. So where really am I proceeding? Until next time, aloha. And to close, clicking on the thumbs up icon supports Aloha Speaks, as well as clicking on the free subscribe tab. Mahalo.